When it comes to prospecting automation, one of the most important things you can do is to do an A/B test on your emails. Now, what does that mean? It means, let's say you have a prospecting email you set up. Hey, Mr. Potential customer, can you tell me who's the person to speak to? Right? But the subject line really plays a critical role. It's very similar to having a book cover, right? What is the name of the book in the book cover, and what's going to make someone pick it up? Right? The subject line is the same thing. So an A/B test takes a few different subject lines, and you send it out to a mass amount of people, a test market, and you see which one gets clicked the most. Now, many times you'll do it, and I just did one last week for a customer, and one got 30%, one got 28%, one got 25%, and one got 6%. So you could, they were very close. You could use the 30, the 28, and the 25%, where you could interchange those. You could use all three of those subject lines because all three of them are good. But the one that only hit 5%, you wouldn't use. You'd get rid of it, right? It just doesn't resonate with people. It just didn't tell enough. It didn't intrigue anyone to open up that email. So using subject lines and perfecting your subject line is critical when you're doing prospecting automation. And don't just type it and say, oh, that sounds good. Test it, because many times what you think sounds good to you just doesn't to other people. And sometimes the strangest or the oddest or the subject line you didn't think was going to do well does well. So it's nice to be armed with a bunch of different subject lines that you can use. But you're also sending the same message, but you're testing different subject lines to see which ones have the more likelihood to create intrigue that someone's going to open. So pay attention to your subject lines.